Today we are answering a classic question of why hire an agency, and specifically why hire Common Thread Collective. My contention is that an agency is valuable on the basis of two fundamental things. One, the talent inside the organization. You are hiring talented people when you hire an agency. Two, the shared knowledge of the organization. If an agency can't display for you their ability to produce repeatedly talent that is better than what's available in the market, and they do not have a system for institutionalizing shared knowledge and distributing it across every member of the organization, then you will be better served hiring directly from the open market. So how does Common Thread Collective think about these two things, talent development and shared knowledge? Let me show you the unique ecosystem that we have developed to help reinforce these two principles. Inside of Common Thread Collective, what we all know is an 100-employee agency with access to anywhere between about, let's call it 250 clients across all our services at any given time. But that's not all that we have on the service side. For most agencies, that's the totality of their offering. But for us, we have a much broader ecosystem. We also own and operate 5 of our own brands with about 25 different people, where every day we are operating, scaling, growing our own e-commerce businesses. Additionally, we also run a community group with about 300 members currently in the, let's call it 0 to 1 million. These are earlier stage businesses. And then we have a central repository of data and knowledge gathering across the entire ecosystem in our new software, our growth data tool. So what this means is that we have a couple of different ways in which we create a network effect across this organization. First is the flow of data from our own brands, from all of our clients, our admission members, flows all of their revenue data, all of their advertising spend data, and very soon all of their profitability and expense side data into a central source where we can aggregate and look across the entirety of the portfolio to generate outward insights. This helps us to inform the kinds of brands that we want to target in acquisition, to identify commonalities of brands that are succeeding, to notice trends related to advertising performance across large data sets. These insights that are unique to the aggregation of the data allow us to do a few things on the strategy side. One, we have different modes of strategy that flow through the system. Because we own and operate our business here, we get operational strategy that flows from owning our own businesses into both CTC and into admission in the form of operational content. This includes everything from discussions around cash flow management to inventory to the way that we developed ideas around SKU-specific ROAS or focus on cohort-specific LTV data, all flows out of the obligation that we have to think about how our own dollars are generating return for our brands that informs the strategies then that we give to our clients. And then vice versa, because we are managing over 250 different clients in growth strategies, we can fuel the information we see specifically on the growth side, paid acquisition across Facebook, search, Snapchat, Pinterest, TikTok, email, SMS, creative production, all of it then flows back into our own brands and also into admission in the form of growth content and coaching. So you have this system whereby every end node that enters the system adds value across the entirety of the system by contributing to the data pool, by understanding ideas and strategies. And then the other thing is like our members are incredibly smart entrepreneurs. So we often in our Slack channels get strategy and ideas that flow from the members into our own organizations. And so a member inside of Admission adds data to the pool, adds ideas to CTC, and then receives back from it additional value in return. And then finally, the talent side. We have developed an incredible program that we call the Admission Scholarship Program, where we are training and developing over the course of time talented individuals to reinforce and to support the growth of our talent. So in the most recent program, we had 400 applicants apply for 30 spots, okay, into Admission. They will go through a 30-day training where they will learn across all of the data and everything else that we have access to, pouring through all of this content. And then from that group, we will hire 3 to 5 employees of CTC. Those employees of CTC will spend anywhere between 2 to 5 years working across all of the best brands. And then those employees move to 4x400, where 4x400 now houses all the veterans out of CTC that now walk into the operational brand side having spent years in the growth model. So what this means is that for CTC in particular, we have institutionalized knowledge that gets distributed out of an aggregated central source that we are constantly teaching from, providing content out of, that fuels not only Admission, so the content that we create out of the data tool fuels every other part of the business. So shared knowledge is aggregated and distributed. And we have a talent development pipeline that allows us to arbitrage sort of the market cost of employees and create the most fertile training ground so that we never have the problem, which is the constant agency refrain, that you have junior level employees with very little experience working on high level accounts. We can ensure that there's a development program across the entirety of the system to ensure that people are working on work that is appropriate to their level. And the entire idea is that we want to create a network effect whereby each entrance into the system at any point, a new brand that we acquire here, if we pay money to acquire that business, part of the way that we arbitrage additional value is that everything that we learn from this process is going to fuel every other part of the system. And that's not even taking into account this whole idea of like the public benefit of the content creation. So let's say public content. Public content is fueled by insights and data and information from all of these sources that then pours back into membership across the entire thing. And so we've worked really hard to think about why we as an agency offer you unique value versus hiring somebody from the market. And the answer is the system. It's the network. So anytime you consider hiring an agency versus employee, the question should be, what is the network effect of the system that is going to create additional benefit versus the individual employee? And that's the obligation of us, the agency, to build shared institutional knowledge and to have the best people in the world working on your accounts. And that's what we spend every day thinking about developing. And the combination of the ecosystem, from the community to the software products to the service business to owning our own brands, gives us a unique competitive advantage in doing so. Want to come learn more about how that shared knowledge set and those talented people can benefit you? Click on the article, contact us, and let us put a proposal in front of you.